think it's a new record. 5 weeks in a row. Is this 5 weeks in a row or 4 weeks in a row?
I'm not used to counting the time, so I'm not quite sure.
Our locker room, our locker room culture is still developing. We're not a team that expects to win. We certainly want to win. We certainly are happy to win. But we need to get to a point in this locker room where we expect to win as we, become the number one weekly podcast that is recording live right now. I don't think any other podcast can say that.
Maybe. Listen, I'm just happy to be here, James.
It's I am too. We this is a good weekly routine. We need to do this more often, which is kind of the consensus that we reached in the new year.
Well, can we do it more often if it's weekly? We can do it more consistently, but we can't necessarily do it more often.
You're right. Well, okay.
Well, technically that's true.
Because you could do multiple weekly joints.
It takes multiple weeks to grind a gorilla, is what you're trying to say.
What is that, like a minute and a half in? You got to... I mean, we're going to do a
whole... If you had under 90 seconds in the inside joke pool, then you get to take a drink right now.
We got to do a show. It'll be a word reunion show. We'll get everybody. Oh my God. We'll get Ernie. We'll get Jessamine. We'll get actually some of these people.
No. We just need to get Doug and Joe Hafera and Jackie Pardini.
Woo!
And your boy Joe D.
Oh, Deep and Brocky.
Yeah.
Deep and Dance. Yeah. Oh, you don't want to have Eric back from lunch run the board for us?
I want the show to air and not cut off in the middle.
Ooh.
You'll start pulling plugs during the middle of the show.
I think he actually did that.
That once. Show, by the way, is The Word.
Oh, that's a good point. People should know what they're listening to. Or
I kind of like the cold, rambling Mark Maron Open a little bit, but
that was
at some point we do say the name of the show.
Yeah, just in case it just kind of turned on someone's podcast app and it's on autoplay, which is we appreciate.
They downloaded. They were infected with malware and it downloaded. Oh, that's a great idea! Malware that makes your phone record a podcast.
It's a great way to improve your subscriber count. Just infect all your friends with a text message.
That sounds like a Silicon Valley season 5 plot.
Ooh, we should be writing for that show. I think my phone is hacked. I wiped it a few weeks ago just in case. Now the fingerprint's not working. When I charge it, I can't press any buttons. What is this? I mean...
What current cellular telephone do you have?
I have a 6S.
Okay. Oh, you're ahead of me. Just a 6.
I mean, it was a great phone. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah. Mine's been great, but I don't know if it's from dropping it or what, but the charging port is loose. Like I get like a loose connection with all my charging cables.
Yeah.
So if I move like the wrong way, then it loses a connection. It doesn't charge.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had to clean mine out with some gunk cleaner. It's a lot that gets dust.
I've tried to use like the canned air. It didn't work. And I've gotten some out with like a paper clip.
Yeah. It's really packed in there.
Much like Michael Scott, I've retired from comedy, so I'm not going to take the bait on that one.
I couldn't even get it out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, wait. So we need to talk about something because in the green room you dropped something on me. I'm getting notorious for this kind of thing. For those of you that have no idea what we're talking about, it's because we haven't actually introduced it. So let me do that.
Yes.
Richard Bruce.
Great teaser.
Thank you. Yeah, I spent a lot of time writing that. So Richard Bruce Jenkins Abernathy and I happened.
Can I interject for 1 second?
Yes.
I'm a little disappointed in the Jenkins. I was expecting Kemp, maybe Peyton.
I know. I didn't want to be so obvious with it, and I think that was the big mistake. I tried to be 40 before I was 40. I mean, look, I'm not 40 yet. I need to just really just stick to my guns.
He's a man. He's 40.
I know I should have gone with the Seattle thing. I could have even gone Cobain. Oh my God!
Oh, that would have been great.
What on earth was I thinking?
It's okay.
Well, look.
You got several more during the show. I trust that you'll redeem yourself. Sorry. Continue with your story.
So
or our story, shall I say?
Yeah, this is true. The two of us were in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle for various reasons, which is rare that we're ever even close to. Even on the holidays, I'm always like coming in when you're leaving or vice versa, and we never are even in the same town. We had a chance.
So we were both there for work-related activities.
Yes. And, which usually means you'll have the evenings free, which is what I thought was going to happen. And so we said maybe Saturday night because I got in late Friday. Well, actually earlier than I thought, but we were staying probably about an hour apart if you just drove a straight shot. Either way.
Well, with traffic, maybe like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, I heard the traffic there is bad. I didn't have to deal with it too much.
Yeah, it was a little rough. It was a little rough.
It was actually, I just saw something on the news today that's in the top 5 worst places to drive, according to
My only complaint about the city.
Okay.
That's it. The traffic. It's the only thing I don't like.
Oh, I thought you were leaning into something.
No. It was a declarative statement.
I did think, though, because you know how I am. This is like becoming a pattern. I know we're jumping all over the place with Seattle. This is becoming a real bad pattern with me. I'll go somewhere once, and I'm like, I'm moving here. This is it. This is the spot. This is what I've been looking for. So I'm already in that zone when I'm in Seattle.
You do that. You're very self-aware, James.
I mean, it's just like thank you. I mean, but it's a. I'm not going to say it's.
You said that about Jacksonville. You said that about Miami. You said that about
The one thing I will say, the only thing with Miami, I never wanted to move. When I first visited Miami, as an adult with free time and money, because the first time I went to Miami, it was for a football trip. So we only had one night. It was fun, but it was kind of it's just another town. But the second time I went to Miami, it was for Ultra Music Festival. And again, my whole day was tied up with that. So I didn't we didn't go out. We went out one night in Brickell, which Brickell was actually pretty gangster. But I didn't think, I got to move here. That came later. But yeah, with DC, when I came to visit you in Jacksonville, I didn't really feel that way about Atlanta. But Atlanta worked out in a way that it's funny. The one place I didn't think I would ever move, I moved, and I really like it. So there's your answer there. And then I guess where else have I been? I mean, that's it. But so I'm over here in Seattle. Oh, this is it. I'm moving here. This is gangster. And then I started thinking, because we were driving around in the Queen Anne neighborhood a lot, and that place is really hilly. And all I could think to myself is, I wouldn't be unable to drive here, just in town. I'm just not used to driving hills, parking hills. I just thought. I mean, that's a dumb reason to rule a place out, but. I mean, and of course, I'm not even ruling anything out. I'm not moving anywhere. But anyway, the whole crux of this is that I was confronted. This is like the WWE. I was confronted in the locker room.
It was more passive-aggressive. It was more passive-aggressive sarcasm. Shocking coming from me, I know. But
it felt very direct. Well, it was direct. I mean... what happened was we were thinking Saturday night, and then the people I was staying with, they were really into dinner, and I was like, well, I'm staying with them. I need to, I want to hang out either way, and not just because I'm staying with them. And, so I was like, I don't think I can really get out of this dinner. It's just, I told them I'd be there for dinner at the baseball game that Rich had tickets to. It was later in the plan. And that's not an excuse. It's just the reality of what happened. But I got confronted in the locker room, people, by... I was smushed? What?
No. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead and finish.
Richard Bruce McMahon Abernathy confronted me in the locker room, and he put it out there. He's like, hypothetically, if you were in the same town as a friend of yours and you do a podcast together, would you Jones or would you Beans? And I chose to Beans, which was, I have to live with that choice. I feel like I'm doing a press conference now.
You're being such a social butterfly, and upholding your social commitment, being an upstanding member of society.
Yeah.
And while I was disappointed not to hang out and have some interpersonal communication, no, I understood. I was just giving you a hard time, but it would have been fun to Jones. Baseball game was fantastic. The first MLB game I've been to in about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And early shout out on the podcast.
Whoa.
Shout out to a friend of mine who works perhaps for a professional baseball league in some capacity, and had contacts who had an extra ticket for me that was in a prime location. So it was a wonderful experience at the ballpark. So Dan Bogdanow, shout out to you tonight.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Dan Bogdanow. You're so connected.
Friend of the podcast.
Yes.
Friend of both of ours.
Yes. Shout out to him. And I'd be shouting out to him if I'd actually gone and used the ticket, but I have to live with that.
Yeah. He's about to become a father for the second time, by the way.
The second time? People are into their second kids?
Time. He's having a second kid. He's buying a house. Our pets' heads are falling off.
That's what it feels like. Second kid. Well, I mean, come on, people. Now people are just showing off. I mean,
and yeah. We're getting old, James. That's how it goes.
Second kid? No. You get what? Well, we're just going to have kids now?
I was actually reminded of him earlier when you were talking about going to Miami for the Ultra Music Festival. Because he and Balcom, another friend of mine, for those of you who don't know him, both big fans of the festival and listen to Above and Beyond and get hype. And so saying that brought me back to some old music I haven't listened to in a little while. I might have to get on that later tonight.
Wait, they're about that life?
Yeah.
What?
I know, but I'm blowing your mind right now.
I mean, they're like old school, not old school, but like that's like about that life. Wow. Dude, we could do a whole show. Ooh, another bucket list item. We could do a whole show just based on an Ultra Music Festival. I could do a whole, you know what? Actually, I was just about to say I can do a whole podcast on Ultra, and I actually been meaning to do something like that, do a dance music podcast, because there's a lot of them out there, because there's so many different types of subgenres, but okay, let me just, I need to just making a mental note there. Anyway, we're both in Seattle. My first time there, we talked in the green room. That town's gangster. I like Seattle. I'm actually furious at everybody for not pushing Seattle on me. When I was doing all these ridiculous, I'm going to move here, I'm going to move there. Y'all should have been pushing Seattle, dude. I mean, what is this? Actually, I did have someone who did push Seattle.
I thought I had pushed Seattle to you because I'd been there a couple times before. I thought we had talked about it.
You pushed Seattle on me?
I thought. Well, I mean, maybe not pushed. Mentioned. Broached the subject of.
Well, that was a game changer. I mean, look, I'm already going into my old patterns, but it was a game changer. It's on the short list.
It's a beautiful part of the country. It really is.
Oh my gosh, it's on the short list.
Okay, here. Hey, all right. Spontaneous segment. It's called 5 Places in the United States You'd Like to Live.
Ooh.
It was posed to me while I was on my work trip by one of the guys I was out there working with. It was a great question. It was what 5 states, if you could live in any 5 states,
okay,
The only 5 states you could live in. What 5 would you pick?
Ooh, man, this is really tough. There's a lot of. I'm going to offend. I feel like I'm running for office here. I don't want to offend, people from some of these great states all across the country. But there's going to be some tough calls here because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Okay, am I going first or you going first? I don't have a preference.
Well, we'll trade off one at a time.
Okay, I'm going to go with number 5. I'm going to start. Okay, I'm going to start down at the bottom.
I'm going in no particular order.
Okay. There's no order. Okay, that makes it easier.
No order. Yes. No.
All right.
Order.
So then I'll go with the choice that people think I'm playing with this dude, and it's not a game. I don't know why I'm doing the Kevin Hart clap my hands thing right now.
You're doing the clap emojis when people can tell that you're staccatoing your words.
Boise, Idaho is up there right now, dude. There.
I've heard it's a really fun city. We have a golf tournament up there every year, and people swear by Boise.
It has been up there for a minute. Okay, that's my first one. Oh, are we giving rationale, or are we just throwing out the joints?
No. I mean, if you want to go into detail, feel free.
Here's my Boise plan, real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Boise.
Oh, I don't have plans. So
Boise is the only one I have a plan for. This is the only one I have a plan for. Boise would have been my number 1 if we were doing rankings. So
proceed.
So I've moved to Boise. Obviously, I'd get some kind of coaching job. That's just kind of everywhere I go, I do that. I would get a bartending job for the evenings. Okay. And I would drive Uber during the day. That's it. That's the Boise plan. If I did that for a year, it would be like going off and studying with Tibetan monks. I would be a changed person. Like the only thing there that I've done before would be the coaching thing. That's like the only constant. Everything else, no.
That is some side hustle if I've ever heard it, by the way.
Well, the thing is, I've realized, you move places, and for me, the first thing you got to do is you got to start working. So you never really even have that period to figure out where you are. I've lived in Atlanta for a year, and I even had a month, not even a month. It was like 3 weeks, barely, where I didn't have like a day-to-day job commitment. So right away, I got thrown in, I'm working, which is fine. It's good. You need money. But I've been here for over a year, and I'm still, like, I go to the same places, right? Like, I very rarely venture out, and some of that's time, like, because I do have 2 jobs. But I think it's just when you start working and you get into that routine, that becomes how you know the city. You don't know, like, other parts. So that's why I'm saying, like, if I went to somewhere like Boise.
Well, I think that's natural. I mean, I've done that here. I mean, everybody does it to a certain extent where they are.
No, I think you have to. That's why I'm saying with the Boise, it'd be like, all right, work the night job, something different. I've worked nightlife, but never behind the bar. And then during the day, do the oobs hus. And then this way, it's sort of like I still have time to like explore, see what's going on, learn that naturally by driving. And then the coaching, whatever. I don't know. That's just something. I'm just always going to be doing that. So anyway, but that's the only one I have a monologue for. But Boise is like up there. Okay, go ahead.
All right, I will put California number 5.
Ooh, wait? You're going states?
I'm going states. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go Cali. I could see living out there.
Dude,
at some point.
It's so tempting. Oh man, it's so tempting.
I love the northern part.
Ooh,
so I'll say California number 5.
It is so tempting.
Well, actually, I'm not ranking, but that's 1 of 5 for me.
Okay.
So what's your second place?
Yeah, California is so tempting. I that's one place. I mean, I had 1 foot in the door in California when I was about to graduate. I graduated a semester late, and then I ended up not doing it. Thank God, because I was going to do LA. So would have been a terrible idea. but at that stage in my life, at least. Okay. This is one that... This is a new one for me, but I was not mad at Louisiana.
Okay.
I was not mad. I was in New Orleans for a coaching course. That's really the only way that I get to see other places in the country is when it comes to soccer. For some reason, I don't really travel too much. Like when I came down to see you in Jacksonville, it was like that was just such a rare thing for me, especially if it was only for 40 hours.
36 hours.
Yeah, not even. Yeah. I never do. Usually if I go on a trip, I'm like, I'm gone. Okay. But yeah, I wasn't mad at New Orleans. I mean, I certainly wasn't so, I love this place, but I could do it. It was fun. It's a party town. I like that.
I feel like that's not indicative of Louisiana as a whole, though.
True. I
New Orleans is very different. I mean, some of the elements are clearly the same, but I mean, Louisiana is by and large a very rural place.
Yeah, I was trying to stick with the. You're right. I was trying to stick with the. The states theme, but I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna.
So really, New Orleans.
I'm going New Orleans.
You go cities, I go states. You go cities, I go states.
Okay, I like it.
All right. I will go. I'll go ahead and head out to the northwest and say Washington.
Dude,
or Oregon, either one. But I like Seattle more than I like Portland, so I'll take Washington over Oregon. But either one of those would be great. I love that part of the country.
Dude, Seattle is so gangster, dude. I am furious that I am 32 years old. This is the first time I went to Seattle, bro. I mean,
it's a long flight.
That is true. Well, okay, this is actually.
No, it's not that bad. It's 4.5 hours from Atlanta. It's not bad.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, I was expecting to really just be like in for the the down for the count, I should say. But the trip out there, I actually read a book by Seth Godin that's really good, Purple Cow. But I was just kind of expecting I was expecting it to go forever and ever. And I mean, I really had time to finish the book and then some. So. It's manageable. I mean, again, Atlanta has nonstop flights pretty much everywhere, so that was pretty nice. Shout out to let me throw this your way while we're talking about travel. Skiplagged. Have you know anything about Skiplagged?
I don't.
My friend Nick, who is also in Atlanta, he introduced this to me. It's a website where, you travel a lot for work, and I don't travel a lot. I'm trying to get better with that, for work or otherwise. I sometimes will, it's a flight, never mind. And part of that is I hate paying these ridiculous prices on airlines. I don't get reimbursed for travel. I mean, I write off, business travel, but, that's not the same thing. So,
right.
I don't get all that money back. So this website, Skiplagged, let's say I'll use myself as a recent example. I'm flying to Seattle. Now that you're normally thinking that's going to be a $300 flight, on a
way more than that.
I mean, I'm talking one way 300.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that was actually one of the reasons why I waited so long to buy this ticket, because I was like, I wasn't seeing any deals. So the site, Skiplagged, I searched from Atlanta to Seattle. And what it does is it finds all the flights that are flying to those, the locations you picked to and from. And it doesn't matter if that flight is a connecting flight. See, the thing is now, a lot of times you book a flight for an airline, they don't put you on a connecting flight. You're getting on a plane, right? You're going somewhere. And that plane might connect, but usually everybody gets off, they go to a different plane, or they're at their destination. So I don't know how they figured this out, but you can, and I'm sure it's on their site, but it searches a database that isn't readily available for like when you just buy on Delta or JetBlue or whatever, and it finds the like cheaper fares, and you pay like the true fare to go where you actually want to go. Because the problem is, if I fly from Atlanta to Seattle and I say I want to fly direct, I'm only going to get on a flight that is going to have a price for Atlanta to Seattle direct, even though that plane is going other places. So when you search this database, it gives you the fare that's like the real fare. So, for instance, the flight that I took to Seattle was going to Edmonton. So I'm sure that's a much more expensive flight. But for some reason, because I only bought the Atlanta to Seattle leg, it was only $130.
Huh.
One way to Seattle. I can't even fly to North Carolina one way that cheap. And I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, in a hub. And I did the same thing coming back. Flight back was like a little bit more. I think the flight back might have hit 150, but it was the same deal. So 300 round trip, pretty much less than a week before the trip with this site. And apparently it's so good that like Delta or American like sued this website and they lost. So the website's still up. But
wow.
Yeah, Skip lagged. Skip lagged like jet lagged, but with skip.com. It's incredible. I guess we should.
Great shout out.
Yeah, I'll have to tweet at him and let him know that we were talking about it on the show. And I don't know if I'm exactly
sponsor of the show.
Yeah. I don't know if that's exactly how it works. I'm just imagining that because I remember I used to be on those travel hack sites a lot because I remember when I got a real job for the first time, I was like, oh, I can like travel places. I can fly. I'd never done that before. Like, you know, I'd always like taken a bus home, whatever. So I used to be on those travel hacking sites and they talked about this database. It's like the International Flights Database, but it's essentially what runs the world's flights. And then the airlines, I guess they input the flights that they're offering into that database, but the airlines set the price. I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, so I don't know how accurate that is. I should put that disclaimer. I don't really care how it works. All I know is I got to Seattle and get this, I had a voucher for $150 from Delta. So really, I only paid $150 to go to Seattle and back. Anyway, let me stop. I'm not trying to humble brag here. But anyway, check out that site, Skip Lag. I know you travel for work a lot, so I don't even know how I got on that. Oh, we were talking about travel. Okay, is it my turn or is it your turn?
It's your turn. You got 3 left.
Oh, wait. Okay, so I already did
Boise and New Orleans.
Boise and New Orleans.
I'm glad I know where you want to live more than you do.
Well, I talk about it like every day to people I see. They're probably like, oh, yeah, you're moving somewhere? Great. Yeah, you just moved in 2 days ago, whatever. Okay, so this is a new one. And I have to say, we could go on for a while about this. I know we joke about it on the show. But I'm also mad at my staff I guess I can't be mad at my staff because you were pushing it. But I'm a little bit perturbed that I was, and now again at 32, just getting on the Jacksonville grind because shout out. And we didn't even we were just, we posted up at the crib. We went to get breakfast. We went to get a drink. We went to get dinner. And then, the airport and the bus stop, boom. We didn't even really I was wanting to record the show from the beach that weekend. But Seattle, Jacksonville is gangster, dude.
It can be a fun place to live.
I am.
So parts of it I don't love, but it's not certainly not a bad place to be.
I just remember being at my favorite bar in Atlanta, and I ran into some Jacksonvillians. What are we calling people from Jacksonville?
That sounds right, Jacksonvillians.
And they were just describing the place and, the things they like and they don't like. But I was just like, okay, Jacksonville. And I hadn't, because remember, we were going to do another weekend trip, but the hurricane ruined it. I bought a bus ticket, just like this last time. And then you were like, dude, you better cancel. The hurricane's getting crazy. And then not even an hour later, I got an email from the bus company saying, we've refunded the ticket. We're not doing trips down there, hurricane. So we were going to do it earlier. So I think this was right around that time, maybe right after when I had to cancel that trip. But I am not mad at Jacksonville. Much like we were talking about Seattle and in the green room, my how I like the Seattle schmoopy, the sporty schmoopy. I feel like
That is in your wheelhouse.
that is it's like the worst thing. Living in DC, my old roommates, two of which we've had on this podcast. Shout out to Dave and Hinsey. You know, it's to the point where we would just be like walk into a store or walk into a restaurant, and then it'd be like a prototypical Mundia schmoopy, and people would just turn and look at me like we couldn't even just like be somewhere, and there would be a schmoop like because it was just like so obvious, and then of course now they're making it even more obvious. But I feel like the Jacksonville, that's a different category of schmoop for me, but I think I could roll with that.
Okay. Well, I'll copy you, and I mean Florida in general, but I mean I've been in Jacksonville 10 years now.
Wow.
So obviously, I would be okay with living here. But other parts of Florida are nice. I haven't done west side of Florida much at all. I've really only been East Coast even in 10 years. I've never really been to Tampa. I've been like near or kind of through Tampa on my way to Fort Myers once, but have really not gone Gulf side at all. So other than Panhandle, but Florida's a fun place to be. So,
bro, let me tell you.
Why not?
Let me tell you about the West Coast Florida, dude. St. Pete Beach is gangster, dude.
You've had a good time there.
I went to a wedding there in the summer. It was right before August of 2012. And, oh, man. Just like, okay, this is the way I look at it. Because, we've been talking about, different cities and stuff. Like, in Miami, I stayed in Miami Beach for about half the time that I was there. And at first it was by design, and then it kind of just became like I just needed to stay there because of where I was living. And like you have the beach, and it's just there. It's expansive. It's tons of people. Everyone's a tourist. It's great, and that's cool. But St. Pete Beach, it's like a mile long, or whatever stretch of beach that I was at. Like barbecue. Like, it's not just like a place where people are. It's like stuff going on. Like, there's this like tent restaurants that like, it's a full restaurant. I mean, it's right on the beach. Your feet are in the sand and you're eating a burger like at a table. Like that. And like, this is embarrassing, but that weekend was my first weekend back in the country. And so it was a wedding, and I was in the wedding, and I drank when I was in Kenya, but like not a lot. So my tolerance for like the 2 weeks, I hadn't drinking anything compared to like what I would normally drink in a week in DC, right? Like going to Kenya, it was like a real treat. Like we'd have like 3 or 4 beers, like, oh my gosh. Cause it's just, there's no 7-Eleven we can go to at my grandmother's house. It's like in the cut. So I got back into town, and I was like going hard for like the 2 days of this wedding. So like I was like kind of like 2 sheets, and I still remember like just that atmosphere was just insane. So yeah, dude, get out to Tampa, St. Pete Beach, bro. Woo. Oh man.
All right, you got 2 states left, or 2 cities left.
Oh man, where
you going?
This is impossible, dude. This is really tough. I'm all right. Let me save the tough decision for later, because I'm going to put New York on there because as a city, I love New York City. I have never felt more like an alien in my life than a weekend in New York City. Like, it is just the best feeling to not have any idea what's going on. I think that's kind of what draws me to maybe moving all the time. What is this, like a therapy session? But, that is one thing about New York that it's like you could be like walking down the street and the strangest thing that you've ever personally seen is not even being recognized by anybody else on the street. And it's not always like bad stuff, like all the horror stories people have about New York. I'm just talking about like somebody rollerblading with neon light up wheels with an ostrich on their head. Like I don't know, just like everyone's just like, yeah, they're not even seeing it, and I'm stopped in the middle of the street with my jaw wide open. So that's one that all over New York. There's no place in New York where I'm like, oh yeah, this is just like home. Even like the drugstores there, they're like massive, tall. Anyway, okay. So that's my I gotta make a tough choice here. Someone's gonna be upset. We're gonna lose constituency in a certain state, but I'm gonna handle that.
All right. I'll go to North Carolina.
Ooh!
I mean, you gotta love a little North Cackalack. So born and raised there.
Yeah.
So a lot of good places. Heading there in a few weeks for vacation. So get a little Ocean Isle on.
The it's a good pick. It's a good pick. It's a good.
All right, last one, buddy.
So I think this is the one. This is like, as much as I like to romanticize New York, and obviously everybody knows about me in Miami, and I've always said LA, we talked about California earlier, it's always a gangster place. I live in Atlanta now and I like it, but I think the white whale for me, like I'm almost scared to even visit, because I know how I am when I visit places.
You tend to fall in love.
Yeah, and that number one, that like not number one, but the one that I'm almost even scared to mention it is Chicago.
Oh.
I've been. I can see that
for
you. I don't know, man. Like I said, legitimately, like I don't want to visit because people that I trust, who I know are not just kind of romanticizing something as a sales pitch, have made it very clear that is the spot. At least for the things that I like. And that's why New York and Chicago, that's like a really tough one there. Because I think New York, I know, has those things because I've been there, I've seen it, I've looked into it. So but to the point now where I'm like, okay, it's there. But Chicago is like... So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with that.
I can see that. Okay, so last one for me, I guess.
Yeah.
This is tough. Several contenders here for this one.
Okay.
I don't think I would ever do it. I don't think I would ever go this far away. But you can't tell me living in Hawaii wouldn't be the shit.
Oh, this guy's out here dropping bombs. I'm in a bomb shelter right now. I can't handle this heat. I'm in a nuclear fallout shelter. This guy just dropped Hawaii. Excuse me.
So yeah,
this guy's hot takes are making me cough over here.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
I had a good friend. I played high school soccer with him. Oh, Teddy Odgers. He went to Carolina, was a captain of the soccer team.
Yeah.
And after school, I didn't really know what he got into. We graduated around the same time. He graduated on time. I graduated a semester late. And it kind of comes out on Facebook, he's in Hawaii. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because I didn't really know anything about what his like career aspirations were. And he accomplished something that I honestly think I'm going to tweet this at him too. He accomplished something that I honestly think is, I'm not even like exaggerating. He's living in Hawaii. He's got these great GoPro pictures. He's got even some videos. He almost looks like he might be a tour guide. He kind of seems like he's very in the know about where to go. He's surfing. And that is the only time that somebody I know, or even don't even know, that I just see on social media and happen to be friends with them on Facebook or on Instagram, that posted pictures like that actually accomplished the goal of posting pictures like that. You know what I mean? Like, the second I see someone with a GoPro in a water sport, I'm done. I'm done with your page. I'm just like, ugh. But his page, and I mean, it's gonna sound like brown nosing here, which, you know, I did enough of that when I was playing soccer with him. I was like, oh my God, you're so good, dude. Like, but honestly, I actually was like, wow, these are really cool pictures of a place I've never been. I'm interested in this. And I'm not like, whereas normally I'm like, okay, well, that's a really fun trip you took, but I'm repulsed by all the selfies or whatever, you know, like, so
Yeah.
that to me is my image of Hawaii. Like, because, you know, you have like the tourism, you know, videos and all that, but his perspective on Hawaii, I was like, yes, I can understand why people think it's a beautiful place, and I'm not repulsed by this, which was like, so, you know, me and social media, it's like, but anyway, I'm just following up your hot pick with a hot take. Oh wait, are we doing hot takes, or what did we say? Oh, we said
No, we're doing lukewarm takes on this program.
lukewarm takes. Okay, that was a little, maybe a little above lukewarm, maybe a little tepid. Is tepid more than lukewarm, or is it below lukewarm?
It would be the same or below.
I think it's probably going to be the same.
Tepid would not be hotter than lukewarm.
Okay. 5 cities, 5 states. We will mark those down for when we do the road, the word road show, where we pop into Winnebago, just start traveling around, sampling all the various greasy spoons. We can make a reality show out of it. The word eats. Eat the word. Word food.
Eat your words.
Oh man. Okay.
Or the word eats.
I think I said that. I should have been writing these down. I remember
I lost track.
When Bill Simmons did House Eats, and he'd always blogged about how much his friend could eat. Those actually weren't those weren't bad. You can't find them anymore on YouTube because Grantland is gone, or whatever. He's gone. But okay, let me pull over here. I'm just pulling this on my dual.
Let's take a 20-second timeout.
No, I'm just trying to pull this monitor, my monitors up here. Okay, we got to get into some entertainment stuff here because I want to. Okay, I talked about this in the green room.
Where do you want to start?
Okay, well, you finished.
Do you want to do the thing you want to talk about, or the thing I want to talk about first?
Well, I just want to say that you finally finished Veep. You know.
Okay, yeah. Let's start there. Let's start with Veep.
A year later, you know, now that it's about to start season.
Oh my God.
I haven't
a couple of weeks.
I haven't had anybody to talk to about this, and like I'm just like, all right.
I was kind of safe because I didn't want it to be done.
Wait, you were sad?
There's really
you were sad?
I was kind of saving it.
Oh,
there's really not that new on right now, so I was not like in a rush to watch it because I knew I always had something there to enjoy.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. There isn't much new out there, and there isn't much good out there. But so
there's a lot good out there. I mean, it's all streaming, not like in a weird way. Maybe it's just the psychology of it for me. But I'm much more inclined to just like watch something that shows up on the DVR or I flip through and find than like make the decision of I'm going to stream this or I'm going to. I mean, and don't even go there with putting in a Blu-ray or DVD. Like I'll watch Shawshank on TNT with 45 minutes of commercials before I get up and put in the DVD that's 10 feet away from me.
It's such a commitment, you know? Like, I'm going to choose something and put it in here, and that's the only thing I can watch? That's not going to work for me, dude. That's not going to work at all.
It's such a generational thing for us, I think.
I mean, I was staying
Or maybe
at
we're just lazy and it's like that for everybody. I don't know.
I was staying at a good friend's mom's house in Seattle, and it was so funny. I had like the basement, little guest room to myself, and she was showing me around. It's like, this is the thing, it's a shower, blah blah. And then there was a VCR and a TV, on the other side of the room, facing the bed. And she had the remotes out, and she had batteries, and she was playing with them. She's like, "Yeah, I was just trying to figure these remotes out in case you wanted to watch TV." And I was just like, "What am I going to do with that?" Like, I'm gonna put in a tape and then like watch it. I mean, it was just like so funny. Like, I mean, I guess they probably had cable because I know we watched some cable news upstairs because there was all that Trump stuff going on this weekend. But so I guess I could watch cable. But even that, like cable, like I'm gonna have to like watch what's currently on TV. No, no, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Not anything that I want.
In any order that I want to. I can stop. I can get bored of one show and then go to another one for no reason at all. Like, no thanks. It's just.
Well, it's so crazy. I was at work the other day, and one of the guys in my office was like coming to people in my area, was asking if anyone had a CD player because he needed to listen to something off a CD. It was like nobody had one in their, like, no optical drives in our laptops. Nobody has an external. Nobody has a Discman.
Yeah,
I mean,
what do you do in that situation?
I would have had to go out to my car.
Oh, gosh.
But I don't know if it was. I don't know if actually I'll take it back. I don't know if it was audio or if it was like if there were files on the
Right.
CD or what. But it just shows how the times have changed. Really, just in the last 4 or 5 years.
It's really funny. You always help your parents out with computer stuff. It's just part of life. And my dad was hounding me for a while. I'm always, he's like, what computer should I buy? And he was like hounding me about getting a external CD drive. And I was like, I was surprised, first of all, that his laptop didn't have a CD joint, because I thought when I bought it for him, or went with him to buy it with him, I should say, that it had one. But I was also like, what do you still have that's on a CD right now? Like what do you, like, where are you getting CD? And it was like data, not even like music, like the data, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh man. But that's a good point.
Well,
yeah, like
I recently bought an external DVD drive for like $20 on Amazon. Like, you can get them that are just USB powered and are pretty lightweight. Just, I mean, because I've got some old stuff. Like, I mean, I'm sure I have music that I haven't ever loaded onto my iTunes somewhere.
Yeah.
That I don't have like the full library up, and or got old like pictures on picture discs and stuff like that. So
the biggest,
I need to have some access.
The biggest loss, I lost like a lot of my personal belongings in Miami. Well, pretty much all of them. But besides like the pictures and mementos, I had a hard drive that was on life support, but it had, quite honestly, and I'm not, I shit you not, all my music from college and after, and including my DJ stuff, because I started, it had everything. It had
You lost it?
Oh, I mean, it's in a storage. Well, it's been auctioned by now from a storage unit in Miami that I couldn't pay for, but it had everything, and it was one of these weird ones where, so it got damaged. The port where you actually plug it in and it communicates with the computer got damaged, so I had to like hold it in place to copy files off it. So I was like waiting for like the one day where I could just sit down and copy everything off of it and then finally be rid of it. But alas, Miami wins the day again. That's why she wasn't in my top 5. Even though I'll probably move there before anywhere else. Okay, we're getting off track. Yeah. I'm getting off track. Yeah, so, but yeah, no, I feel what you're saying with streaming. It's weird. Like, that actually, it's actually getting to the point now. Maybe you can identify with this. Yesterday, I made some dinner at my house, and I usually just watch some show or some YouTube videos while I'm eating, and I was kind of out of material. I didn't have anything I wanted to watch, so I had to like look in Netflix and be like, was there anything that I want to see here? And even that is getting to be like, I can't even do that. So what good am I? I mean, what is this?
I don't
You
even know where
have
to
to
go with
provide the answers.
that. I don't know. I don't know, James.
I think I just have a really weird relationship with Netflix. I don't even want to get into it right now. I have in the last 6 months, this is so embarrassing. I have canceled and resubscribed to Netflix at least twice in the last 6 months.
Really?
That's all you need to know about my relationship with Netflix.
Love, hate.
It's not even love. It's just like I need to watch House of Cards. And then I'm like upset. Yeah, it's like need hate. It's like I just needed to see House of Cards, but then I don't, and then I get pissed off at House of Cards, so then I drop it. Then I pick it back up again, and I'm watching Orange Is the New Black, and then that one was also kind of like I wasn't into, and then Master of None, I only got through half of the first episode of season 2. Anyway, I have an interesting relationship with that. My sister could write a book on me and streaming services, uh, but let's get to Veep, which we both streamed or DVR'd. Okay, you saw the finale. Go ahead.
Saw the finale.
What do you think, man? I mean,
thought it was by far the best episode of the season because it got back to being what the show was.
But why are we going back? Why does everything have to be cyclical? Why can't they come up with a new thing?
Well, they tried a new thing and we didn't like it.
But like, I didn't like
it. It doesn't mean that it's going to be the same. Like clearly, there's going to be some developments. We'll try to speak a little spoiler free just in case.
Yeah, true.
I mean, some dynamics are going to be different. Clearly.
Yeah. I mean, I did not like this season because
the show is called Veep, not former Veep or used to be in politics. That's not the name of the show.
I know. Look, they went the only place they could go. Maybe this whole season was a setup for that. I'm just saying I did not like this season because it didn't give me the old school. I just thought that they executed the new school poorly. Like Dan hosting a TV show? When was that ever going to be believable? I mean,
yeah.
the only believable
being a pundit, that's where they should have gone with him. He should have just been like the pundit who's in the middle of everything.
Right. I mean, here's a great example. The woman that they paired him with, that he was purportedly sleeping with, that no, the younger woman, not the Jane, whatever. Like she pulled off the that desperate, career-driven, which you have to be in that industry, major broadcast news, kind of manic, just psychopath almost, sociopath almost, I should say. I bought that with her. With Dan, I was like, you're just being Dan, but on TV. And so, I mean, I don't know. You had Richard Splett, and I loved when they kind of started weaving him in more. I was like, finally, yes, they understand that he's someone that everybody likes and he needs more. And they didn't really do much with that. They kind of kept him on the sidelines. Mike, I thought was great. Selena was just so one-dimensional, the best moments from the early seasons were when she couldn't control herself in either anger or excitement or even enthusiasm. And the character that she is now is just this disgruntled, opportunist, narcissistic. Yeah. I'm just I loved when she would chew out her staff because she was so angry. And now she's dependent on these people to live her day to day, not even her political career. So anyway,
right.
They pulled it off well. You are definitely right. the only episode I liked more was the dinner at Gary's, where I thought he was gonna pop off and he didn't, and then I was of course I already went off on that. Yeah, maybe I should write Veep reviews for AV Club. I'm over here just I need to sit down after that. But you thought it was good.
I thought it was good. I liked it.
I mean, I guess I just can't get over that season, but so okay, but I mean, that being said, you've obviously after a week you've caught up on all of Thrones and you're ready for the premiere next week, right?
Ha! Ha!
Did you watch any more?
No.
Ooh, are you tapping out?
One more since then. No, I'm not tapping out. I just haven't had a chance to get back in.
Okay. It's okay to tap out,
Travel.
man. I won't judge you if you do, man. Still holding out hope. I don't even know what I'm holding out hope for. I won't judge you if you do. Okay. Okay, we were gonna get into. I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm like trying to pick a fight with you over Skype. This is like a very. Speaking of passive aggressive.
It's like any other Wednesday night.
Wait, is today Wednesday? I thought it was Thursday. Oh my God, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Yikes. Sorry, I've lost my screen here. Okay, so you haven't gotten back into Game of Thrones. Okay, so you issued a challenge to me in the green room, and or you had a proposal, and
I do have a proposal. I know you've been a little down on Hollywood.
Here's the thing, and here's the thing, Boom.
Now, boom.
Why did
I'm so sad that show is gone.
It's just it's not fair. Like I was just gonna say,
NFL, Brad.
Like why? How can you take something like that away from me? Why would they do that, man? It's a travesty. It's sad, man. What am I gonna do on Sundays? I don't even want to talk about it. Okay, so it's not that I'm down on Hollywood, because there's obviously always new, creative, great things happening. Maybe more on the independent, lower budget side, and even big. But there are some big budget movies that obviously do well that are critically. I loved Arrival as an example. I really love that movie. Have you peeped that?
Which movie?
Arrival.
I'm trying to remember which one that is. Is that that's what I meant by which movie? Is that Jennifer Lawrence and
no.
Pratt?
No, that looks so terrible. Oh God, what is that one? Oh gosh.
I thought that was called Arrival.
No, it's some other pretentious one word. Oh God. Google race. Ooh. Google race.
Passengers.
Oh, damn it! Are you kidding me, Internet? Oh!
And look it up. I remembered.
Oh.
That was not Google.
But you know what's funny? Even after you just said that, my page was still loading. Unbelievable. Okay. Yeah, no, that looks terrible. That to me, and then like I read spoilers and stuff, and I was like, God, I'm so glad I didn't go see that. Come on. Wait, have you seen it, Passengers?
I have.
Did you like it?
It's okay.
I
mean, J-Law looked fantastic. Outside of that, it was not memorable.
She might be my shout out this week. Nah. Let me not shout out to her. All right. It's not so again. Like Arrival's the one with Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner, where there's like these alien pods that show up, and she's a linguist and she's hired to figure out how to talk to these aliens. And it's just
gotcha.
It's one of the best movies I've seen in a while. It's really entertaining, really thought provoking. Like, I always like sometimes. Do you do this? I mean, you know that I do this because I'm just a nut. But if I'll see a movie and if I am kind of meh on it or didn't like it, I just jump on YouTube and I just start like reading reviews, like trying to see if other people like what did I miss something or whatever. But Arrival was the first time where in a while, maybe since Prometheus, where I was like, okay, I really want to like really get into the mythology of this movie. Like, let me really dive in. And like Prometheus, you had to do that because the stupid thing was so confusing that you just were forced to. And it became this really interesting there still is like a weird Prometheus subculture on the internet. Like people still making YouTube videos about it. And people like me with no life watching them. But anyway, it's not that I'm down on Hollywood. It's just that so much of it is so bad and it's so obnoxious to me the way it's marketed as if it's so great. And I mean, you feel like you can win me over here. This is going to be like
I feel like I can. I feel like I got a winner for you.
And the movie you're choosing is really tough for me because I like those movies, but in a vacuum. So like Fast and Furious to me is like
it's totally different.
Okay, all right. Let me let you go here. I mean, we got Richard Bruce Ebert Abernathy.
Oh, I was expecting Spielberg.
Yep. Well, just when you think you're gonna zig, you zag.
I mean, just when I think that you're gonna finish my
sentence.
All right. So the movie is Baby Driver.
Okay.
It is set in your current place of habitation, Atlanta, Georgia.
Dude, you know why they base every movie down here, right?
Tax breaks.
But no, I mean, like every plot of every movie, yeah, because they shoot everything here. It's out of control. Anyway, go ahead.
So Baby Driver, directed by Edgar Wright, is masterfully edited. The music is fantastic. The way the music is integrated into the movie is just, if not the best I've ever seen in that echelon. Just the way it's incorporated flawlessly into the flow and feel of the film. Some really good acting performances by your boy John Hamm.
Yeah, that's my boy, huh?
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx. And a few newcomers or people you might not have seen much of before. And while it does have some thrilling scenes and moments with some action and some violence and all those sorts of things, it has a very good heart to the movie. It's fun, great dialogue. Tarantino was consulted and I think maybe helped with the script a little bit. And it's just a really fun watch, and it's just really well done. And as someone who appreciates the finer aspects of the medium, and as an Emmy Award winner, as someone who has a distinguished eye for what goes on screen, I think that you would you would dig the movie. You should take a schmoopy this weekend. Go see the film, and I think you're going to text me and you're going to feel about that the way you do Seattle. Like, why wasn't anyone telling me about it? You'll stand up during the credits that Hollywood should have got rid of you when they had the chance. It's just a really good watch. I don't want to build it up too much, but it's just a really strong movie. I think I broke James. we can build on this.
Just the sound of hearing you do me. Why didn't anyone tell me about this?
That needs to be a drop after the show's over. You need to go back and mime that.
Oh, don't worry. I already marked it on the show notes. Oh, my God. Well,
so yeah, baby driver, BABY driver.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I saw the trailer. I really liked what where they're going with it. I just, for me, if you hadn't said anything, I wouldn't even have considered going to see it in the theater. By the way, I think it's funny that you said take a schmoop to the theater. Do people still do that?
Yeah.
Like go on a date to the movies?
Yeah.
I just don't. The practicality of that as a date to me just seems so strange.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you're like in high school or whatever, like what else can you do? Really?
No, I'm not talking about high schoolers. I mean, I'm
well, you're
saying,
do people? You said do people, not do we?
Right. I mean, I know people do that. Like, yeah.
I mean, I know people who. I mean, most of my friends still don't do that.
No. I'm not talking about
I still do that.
Wait, so you're talking about like, okay, we're about to get into it, boy. Okay, wait. I'm talking about like, all right, yo, Shmoo, what up, boo? Yo, digits. Okay, word up. Baby Driver, 8:30 Friday. Solid. I'm talking about like.
Yeah, people do that.
For like first date to a movie. Wait, you're
okay. You're being very first date. I don't know, maybe.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, but even I understand it as like
that's a different argument. That you said, do people still do that? Not do people still do that on a first date?
Yeah, no. Sorry. No, my bad. I was talking about like not like a date night. Because yeah, obviously that's like the reason rom-coms exist. Like, who goes to a romantic comedy by themselves, right? Like,
I thought it was to give me help about myself at 3 a.m. when I'm in a hotel on the road. I thought that's what rom-coms were for.
Dude, that's something that we got to get into this at some point, maybe tonight. We need to have a discussion about certain movies that I can't watch on their own, only under certain circumstances. So like, I'm not even talking about like scary movies. Like that's like for me, I'm ridiculous with that. But I mean in general, like people are like, yeah, I don't want to watch a scary movie alone in the dark. No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about how like if I'm in a good mood, like I can't have Man on Fire on TV. Like I don't need that in my life. That movie just is like deep, like dark. Well, we'll get back to that. I want to get back to. Wait, why did we start talking about? Because
you need to go see Baby Driver.
I can't. Why didn't anyone tell me about this? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh man. Okay. No, we were talking about date nights. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, yeah, first date. No, I mean a date night, that's one thing. Yeah, we've been going out for a while. Yeah, we're gonna have a date night. But I mean like as a first date, I feel like that's just what do I know about dating though? I mean, the answer to that's nothing. For those of you that are keeping score at home, by the way. Wait,
I don't think it's nothing. I'm sure you know one thing.
Let me see.
You know, Cold Stone and Love and Basketball is a flawless combination.
That's
so not on VHS anymore. Clearly not on VHS or DVD. You got to stream. You got to stream that joint.
Yeah, but what if the place what if it's not streaming and you have to go to here's another website plug, canistreamit.com. Do you peep that site?
I've never heard of it.
Dude, I'm writing down these shout outs, man. Wait, and then what was the shout out I had before? Oh man. Skip lagged. Okay. Canistreamit.com or canistream.it. and you type in the movie or TV show and you see what services it's streaming on, or that it's DVD, or that it's for purchase, etc. It's a lifesaver because sometimes you don't want to search 4 different streaming services that you're paying for to see which one of them has whatever show you're trying to watch at that moment for Netflix and chill. So anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. We're going back to, okay, first date movie, impractical, and then I completely got lost in my can I stream it shout outs. But so you're in on Baby Driver.
I'm in. I'm all in. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
I'm gonna just independent of the movie discussion of this particular movie, because I don't want it to affect that whole deal. I'm very proud of John Hamm.
He is awesome in this.
But here's why I'm proud of him. Because he's great in everything I've seen him do. He's great. I'm very proud of him for taking like 2 weeks off from like being in my face every single day. Do you remember when John Hamm was in like everything?
I thought you were talking about all the tax commercials during the NCAA tournament.
See, I actually forgot about those. I remember being so peeved. I'm like, John Hamm in a tax? Like, what? Can he just leave me alone for 10 seconds? He's hosting Saturday Night Live every 3 weeks now or something. He's always on there or doing some weird guest thing, and he's in every movie. It was just like, yes, take a break.
I'll say this about John Hamm to that extent. Shout out for not getting typecast as Don Draper your whole life. Because the first thing people know you as is a defining legendary, role like that, it's really easy to get stuck. And he didn't get stuck.
Yeah, he didn't. That's a good point. That's a good shout out. That's a good shout out.
Some of that is talent, obviously, but some of it's making the right creative choices, if you will.
You sound very refined. Are you eating a baguette right now?
No, I got that from Entourage. That's why I sound so refined.
Ooh, Entourage, binge worthy. I might have to get back on Entourage this summer. The first couple seasons, at least. You're exactly right, and I don't want to derail us too much here. Maybe I won't have to, but we
would have to be railed to be derailed.
That's true.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there, Darren.
I thought you. Oh, come on.
Darren Mundia.
Oh, come on. I want to go there so bad. Oh, sorry. Okay. We can't even really explain that joke.
No, we can't. No, it's impossible. Let's move on.
You mentioned Draper. Did you watch Mad? No. You didn't.
I didn't.
I tried to watch an episode. I've probably talked about this on the show before. Couldn't do it. Okay, so we'll move on from that. So, Yeah, no, you're right, though. Shout out to him. I just it was really nice to have a break from John Hamm. And then he looks awesome in the movie. They even really styled him differently. He's not as clean cut. He's got the whatever that haircut is with the
the Bryce Harper hair.
Yeah, there's a name for that. Oh, it's not a faux hawk anymore because now it's like a mini. Oh man, Bryce Harper hair name. Siri, tell me. But they styled him differently, and he's obviously, he's playing a different role. But this haircut search is gonna take forever. But so anyway, shout out to him. So, but here's the thing. If I go schmoop it up at Baby Driver, then That's not good. Boy, it's gonna have to really get me going because I just got back from Alien Covenant and I was just like laughable. Just what?
If that's too volatile situation, then don't take a schmoopy. That episode of Seinfeld was on the other night, by the way.
Wait, the schmoopy episode?
Yeah, the schmoopy episode was on
God,
last week.
So good.
No, you're schmoopy.
Yeah. Although, what if I schmoop it up at the movie and it ends up being good? I'm standing up yelling at the screen.
Probably not a good look.
Could you imagine that on a date?
All of a sudden, she's like, I don't know why no one told you about this. I don't know.
I'm like getting mad at her. I'm like, come on, seriously? You knew about this? You didn't tell me.
You're out of control.
I'm sorry, dude. I just can't. I'm just still stuck on you doing that earlier. Why didn't anyone tell me about it? Oh boy.
I guess ironically I should have told you about that before I did it. So you didn't lose it. Oh, I sense an edit in post. So we've gone over Veep. We've gone over Baby Driver. We've hashed out our Seattle beef. We're still. Oh man, I really got you this time.
Oh dear. Oh my goodness.
Let's close with a little sports, James.
Oh.
Usually that's leading off in the majority of the program, but we flipped the script a little this week, and we're saving it for the end. Let me ask you a question.
Oh.
Did you or did you not watch or have any idea that it was going on the home run derby the other night?
What? That already happened?
That answers my question.
I didn't even see anything about it like in the news or anything. I mean,
oh yeah.
So
Aaron Judge went nuts.
Oh, so it was a watchable event.
It was a lot. Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. Okay. And especially as home run derbies go, it was entertaining. It moved a lot better. Guys were hitting homers, which I guess is what you want out of a home run derby.
I would agree.
Sorry, that's a hot take.
Whoa, dude. Tone it down, Skip. Come on, Stephen A.
All right. I'll rein it back in a little bit. I was just curious. I mean, I've been on a little bit of a baseball kick recently since going to the game in Seattle and All-Star Week, and fantasy baseball going on right now is really the only thing sports-wise. So, I don't know. I was kind of keeping an eye on it. I was just curious if that had entered your thoughts at all. But
no,
clearly it is not.
No, but the thing is, much like our gentleman's agreement that I would pay attention to the NBA playoffs, I would like to extend that into the second half of the baseball season so that this way we can obviously hash it out on the show, and we can also just add that little bit of extra variety, and even call on David Fiore and Stephen Heinzitis to rejoin us on the program, so we can make this happen.
Have you been watching any summer league NBA?
No, I just saw a couple of highlights. But is that on my homework list too? I got a lot of homework, dude.
It's actually been. I mean, it's not great basketball or even really very good most of the time, but it's fun seeing some of the young guys show what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been enjoyable from that perspective.
What time are these games on? I feel like there was one on like in the middle of the day yesterday at work.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're out in Vegas, so
oh,
it's summertime, bro. So, I mean, I think Vegas time they really started playing by like 9 or 10 a.m. or at least noon.
what?
But it's almost over. They're in the elimination portion now.
Oh, it goes by that quick, huh?
Well, everybody plays like 3 games, and then they have a single elimination tournament.
Okay.
So that lasts like 4 or 5 days.
Okay. That is on. Whoop. Another thing we've never talked about in this show that we'll have to. It hasn't started yet. What is this Ice Cube 3-on-3 league? What is this?
Oh, have you not been on that?
Is it? Has it started?
Yes, it started. They're going around to a few different cities.
So
and it's like retired former players playing in a 3-on-3 league.
Is and Iverson's in this, right? Did I see that?
Iverson's in it. Yep. Let's see who else. Cat Mobley.
Wow.
Amongst others. Ice Cube's involved. Steven Jackson. I mean, if Captain Jack is involved, you know it's got to be great.
Steven Jackson. So, like, what is the goal here? Is this like just like a one-time deal, or are they actually starting a league with this? Or
no, they're starting a league. It's going to be like a traveling thing. I mean, to me, it's like in golf where they have the PGA Tour champions, where the golfers who have aged out of the most competitive league, sort of play, it's a bunch of former guys who used to be really good, but now they're a little older, can't do things quite the same way, but are still very talented and put on a good show. And it's the same thing on the basketball court. It's your Corey Maggettis and Jason Williams and Katino Mobleys, Steven Jacksons. It's pretty entertaining.
See, the pieces of the puzzle are coming together for me now. I had an idea today.
Do tell.
It's very boring. I'm going to glaze over this part. About starting...
Way to keep me hooked. really, really selling it. Great piece.
I'm from the ESPN School of Broadcasting, I had an idea of starting my own, some kind of soccer organization. I've been thinking about it for a while. But I remember a couple of years ago, I was actually thinking about starting up a league, like another professional league, and like do it right because I don't like the way the MLS is run. And you are the commish because this guy knows what's going on. Richard Bruce Stern Abernathy.
I love it.
You're the commish. That's who you are. He's the commish. We got a nickname, people. He's the commish. He's the commish. I'm just like yelling at my apartment. Just yelling at nobody. He's the commish.
The commish and DJ Yella.
Dude, don't even get me started on Yellow, dude. Dude, do you even want me to...
No, I don't want to get you started. We don't have time.
New Yellow too, like grown Yellow.
We don't have enough. There aren't enough tranquilizers on the Eastern Seaboard to keep you in control.
Lucky I was.
So let's just move on. Let's just move on. Let's do some final shout outs or bold statements and wrap this bad boy up.
I'm sorry, I have to be contained. I'm fit to be tied. Yep. So I have a shout out. This is something that's been very near and dear to our heart on the show. We don't do this in the show anymore. That's not what this is. Okay, that's just so it's not what this is. We used to do Schmoopy of the Week. We don't do that anymore. It's a little silly. We're not, it's not MTV in the late 90s and we're on a beach, like our hats backwards. That's not the show. At least not yet. So
we're trying to evolve.
Yeah. So, but back in the day, I know we've probably talked about her 1,000 times on this program. Our girl from the AT&T commercials, Milana Weintraub. Now, I know what you're thinking.
World Girl.
That's the shout out. I mean,
I have no idea who that is, but I saw that yesterday.
Well, the thing that's appealing to me, and why I'm like, this is it, you're in, is that it's a Marvel joint. And there's one thing that I really have to say about Marvel, and I'm very impressed with. They've built a universe. And if you're in that universe, the fictional universe, like, you're in. She's...
And beyond that, where that universe is based.
Where it's paved? No, I don't know where it's paved.
No, where it's based.
Oh, dude, she might be at Starbucks one day. Oh shit. Oh, dude.
We need bucket list. We got to get her on the show.
Oh my gosh. I mean, what are you trying to do to me, man? Why do you always do this to me at the end of the show? Last week, for those of you that weren't tuning in last week, this dude started dropping show and comedian suggestions my way like I wasn't trying to get to bed at a reasonable hour. And then now you're going to drop this on me, dude?
See, James, it's part of my evolution as a podcast host, whereas in the early days, I would drop the stuff on you before the show and distract us from getting the show started. Now I'm just saving it for the end so I can inspire you and send you back out into the world a better person.
This guy's deep, man. Yo, I mean, you guys, if you people listen, don't understand, man. This is like, it's like he's in my brain, dude. I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna get her on the show, bro. I mean, come on, bro.
I mean, there's no chance, but it's fun to think about.
Oh, man.
All right, so my shout out
this
week. The Defiant Ones documentary series on HBO.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about this in the green room.
Between that and Baby Driver, it's been a good week. It's been a good pop culture week in the Abernathy household. Fantastic documentary series on HBO. All 4 episodes are up streaming. It's a 4-part series. I think new ones come out each Sunday, but if you have HBO Go, you can hop on and watch the whole thing now. And it's just really well done, very well produced. Editing is slick, sound design is great, interviews look wonderful, the interview content is great. Access with Dr. Dre, Jimmy Dean, sort of their careers in the music industry and how they found each other and built. But I mean, just the number of other artists that they've impacted or come across and helped make better, and how they became friends and business partners. It's just a great story, and it's just told in an exceptional way, and is just a really cool thing to watch, whether you're in that industry or not. It's just well done. I recommend it to everybody, even if you don't love hip hop or don't love 70s, 80s rock. It's just a really well told story, and it's cool, and everybody should check it out.
Richard Bruce Siskel Abernathy with the review.
Wow, you got Ebert and Siskel in the same show. I feel honored. I give that 2 thumbs up.
With the review of the Defiant Ones documentary, available on HBO and HBO Go. Okay, you killed me, man. I'm wiped, man. I can't do this. Like you. Whew.
Hey, listen, it was our 4th show in a row. We had to bring it.
You brought it. It was broughton. Oh man.
what are we in high school in Raleigh right now?
Oh man. Do not let me forget. See, there's another great example. Those like teeny bopper high school movies that we grew up with, that were like out when we were, middle school, high school. Like another example of a movie. Like sometimes I could watch those. Like if it's the right situation, I could watch those for days. Other times it's like,
give me an example.
So,
like, are you talking like 10 Things I Hate About You?
Or even like even the parody ones, like Not Another Teen Movie, or even She's All That.
Rachel Lee Cook.
Rachel Lee Fire. Like those types of movies, right? Like it's very, very rare that I'm like really in the mood for something like that. It's even getting that way with Old School. Like there are some times where I'm like, this is like, wait, wasn't Old School on when I came to visit you?
I think so, yeah.
See, that was a perfect setting for Old School. Kind of just chilling out. We've been like out and about all day, et cetera, et cetera. Or we were just about to go out. I'm not sure if we were going out or about to go out. But like, all right,
I think we come back.
I assume so, yeah. So like, but sometimes Old School just kind of comes on like, I don't know. It's like a little bit too early in the day, and it's got the commercials. And like, it's like a weird. I don't know. I'm not describing this very well, but
I know what you mean. If it's on at like 3:00 on a Saturday afternoon, it's like, yeah, it's a little too early. Whereas if it's like 9:00 and you just come back from eating dinner or something, it's like, oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Old School.
I don't know the timing of that stuff. I feel like there's certain movies that I just like either never liked or don't like just because of like when I watch them. I don't know.
I'm more time independent than you are on that.
You are?
Yeah, just whenever is fine, as long as I like the movie.
Yeah, see, you're like you like movies. That's the thing. Like you can like watch. See, I'm really, as you can tell by what we talk about every week on the show with me hating everything. There's like, I really just don't have like a lot of movies that I like. And now there's a lot of movies
very discerning.
It's not even like, I don't even know if it's discerning. It's like whatever the cranky variation of discerning is. Because I'm not a movie snob. Because there's a lot of movies.
Skeptical?
Yeah, I think that's it. Because there's a lot of movies that I haven't seen. Just out of like, some people just know. Like I'm like 5 years into having seen Big Lebowski, I think. I think I went all of college without seeing Big Lebowski.
Don't get me started on you for that.
I know I've kept it from you for this long.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah,
hands down, not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you're apparently you've been burned one too many times by Hollywood.
One.
You got your hopes up. Not every movie can be Ladybugs. That's just how it is.
You got that right. Ladybugs is fire, dude. Put that on. See, there you go again. Now you give me movie ideas. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. I'm over here trying to get to bed at a reasonable time. See, America. This is what he does. Now, what am I going to do?
I'm a master instigator.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm skeptical. It's just, and then like again with my like weird time thing. It's like, yeah, I like that movie, but I don't want to watch it now. I'm like the worst at a cabin where you just like go like with your friends. There's no internet. You got to bring movies and stuff. I'm like the worst person to have in the room during that discussion because I'm just basically going to find. I'm that person, like that person that like you're trying to figure out where to eat, and there's that one person that's making it so difficult. Well, I can't eat there because they have a B rating on this, or I can't eat there. They have bad shrimp. Like I am that person with movies. Oh, and TV shows, dude. Just don't even try. Don't even try. We're not watching TV. We're not watching it. Turn it off.
See, I've always found you to be much more reasonable on TV than movies.
Well,
much more open. In part because it's a half-hour commitment. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I just think like it's just easier to consume for me with DVR. Back when we were in school and that was like the new thing, and then now obviously with streaming and stuff.
Dude, I remember when I first got DVR. Woo!
It changed my life. I watched like the
Totally
whole
changed.
season 2 of The Office in like one sitting when I first moved into this place off MLK.
The funniest thing to me in hindsight is that when I was in college, it's not great when we were in college, like nobody ever has any money. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to get the regular Time Warner cable box instead of the DVR because I don't want to pay the extra $5 a month. And it's so stupid now. I'd be like, what kind of like prehistoric being was I that didn't want DVR when I could have had it? Like, that was just of all the dumb things I did in college, it's up there.
That's the one.
Which is really saying something.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Okay, I'm sorry. How did we get onto that? We were.
I don't know how we get anywhere.
I just.
We
it's streaming and DVR. Yeah, I just. Well, the challenge has been issued. I have to see Baby Driver. I mean, it sounds like I'll like it. The way you described it, I like movies like that. I mean, I just.
I think you'll like it. I want to break it down on the show next week.
Whoa, let me see. I'm going to a wedding this weekend. Maybe I'll download it. I don't know.
No. We gotta support the film.
I gotta go. Ooh. Can I
tell you what?
No.
It's my treat.
No, stop. It's not even about the money. It's not about the money. I'm never ever mad about money when I go to the theater. I'm never like, whoa, they better be good. I'm paying $15 or whatever it costs to go to movies these days. I'm never mad about the money. That's my choice. That is my money to spend. I'm not being forced to spend that money. It's like I have to like find time to actually go now because I'm flying out of here Friday night for a wedding, and then I'm flying back Monday. I'll be off. Maybe I'll go see it Monday when I get back in town.
See?
Because I think I had that day off from work.
Love it when a plan comes together.
All right. This better be good, dude. I'm going to live tweet it or something. I'm going to podcast while watching the movie.
Nothing would make me happy. Well, actually, that might be a bridge too far, but...
I'll just have my phone out. I'll put the Spreaker app on the phone, and then we can do a live joint while I'm watching the movie. Like, oh yeah, this part's pretty good. I don't know, this part's. Okay, I'm becoming. I think I'm delirious. You wiped me out, dude. I'm still okay. That being said, we've issued hot takes. We've issued shout outs. We have issued challenges. It's
been a great show.
It's been a good show. 4 weeks in a row.
Of all the shows we've done tonight, it's probably the best one.
Yeah, well, we technically did do 2 because I started recording 17 seconds before. I don't even know what was going on. So it was up on YouTube.
They didn't need to know that. I was trying to make them think that we were podcast moguls that had another podcast that maybe they hadn't subscribed to yet. That's
the thing. You got to have multiple podcasts. It takes multiple podcasts to grind to gorilla.
On that note.
Oh, thank you all.
We should say goodnight to the nice people. Thanks to everyone for watching. Or not watching, listening. Force of habit.
You can check us out on the podcast application, which is maybe where you're listening to us now, or on iTunes. Sorry, on YouTube and on Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. For Richard Bruce Pryor Abernathy, I'm James Mundia.
James Israel Griffey Mundia. We'll catch you next week on The Word. Thanks for listening, everybody.